What's up, dancers? In the middle of a pandemic, this video is going to detail in depth my experience firsthand from dancing at a ballroom competition during the COVID-19 pandemic with all the regulations in place. The goal is to help you at home if you're on the fence about whether it's safe to return according to your own personal opinion of what's safe, or if you need to back off and wait to compete at another time. Now, if you're watching this right now, Ohio Star Ball canceled. And Ohio Star Ball, like many other competitions, have a very comprehensive safety plan in effect to keep everybody safe and dancing for a long time to come. But here's the thing. Cases, as you know, are on the rise, so naturally, it's no surprise that Ohio Star Ball is canceled. The difference with Ohio Star Ball, before we get any details about my trip, is this. They required a COVID-19 test to be negative before you compete. I don't care what your opinion is on it, but I'll tell you this. This is my personal reason why I could not attend Ohio Star Ball. Because if I show up to work and I tell my boss, hey boss, I got a COVID-19 test to see if I can dance, they're going to say, you idiot, now you can't work until it comes back, okay? So I miss work. If it comes back negative, great. Boss gets mad. I might miss a day or two. But here's the other thing. If it comes back positive or false positive, I'm out of work. I'm sitting at home during Ohio Star Ball anyway because I took this week off for vacation, which lets me have the time to make this video for you. But also, if I was a false positive or positive and didn't know I had it, I couldn't even return to work this week after Ohio Star Ball. Even if I test negative where I work, they will probably make you still stay at home. So let's get into the nitty-gritty details about dance right now. And keep in mind, Ohio Star Ball is canceled during this peak. So this video is going to help you for when things settle down, maybe after the vaccine. You know, we're still going to have regulations in place, masks, sanitizing, social distancing, right? So as the peak goes down and people get back into dancing and stuff, like this is going to help you decide, is it okay for me now or do I need to wait? I don't care which one you choose. It's up to you. I do care that I make a video to help you make an informed decision. I am a student, okay? I'm just a student, but I compete in Pro-Am and Am-Am, and I've been successful at it in ballroom dance. Cue the excessive medal collection and all the ones buried under this whiteboard here, okay? I've been doing it for 3 years, so in case you're at home and you're wondering, well, who's this guy that I'm depending on to help me make up my mind if dance is right for me now or if I need to wait, I'll just tell you I'm experienced, and ballroom is my life, right? Probably as much as you. I practice almost every day. I dump all my money into it, so as much as I can afford, I am a ballroom competitor, right? And even after I can't walk anymore and I can't dance, I will be involved in the sport to some degree, right? I'm never going to be out of the ballroom scene. So let's get onto my trip. Now here's the first thing. Ohio is in a different state. It's drivable, so I did not go to an airport. I can't tell you anything about what an airport's like right now. But here's what I had to do. I had to look online and see, okay, Ohio is acceptable for me to travel to. This is the competition I'm telling you about. It was at Cleveland, all right? So I drove. I was able to go and return to my home state, which is something you might need to check on. If you're going to be honest about your life and with work, you're going to have to check and make sure you can go and come back. So get to Ohio. That takes care of the travel part. The return trip, same thing. Nothing had changed and I was allowed to come back. Get to Ohio at the hotel. The hotel and ballroom both have standards of safety, right? So the hotel, you get there, unloaded everything myself. Some other members from our dance team were there and I helped them unload too. You check in, it was touch-free. People spraying sanitizer all over the hotel, right? Totally clean. The rooms, they don't even wash your stuff unless you really need to, right? Hotels right now are probably some of the safest places you can stay with people that you don't know. You're not even really in contact with people except if you're passing somebody down the hall, and that's basically it. Masks on in the hotel, spray bottles everywhere, hand sanitizer. There's stations you can go to at every elevator. The electronic kind puts in your hand. You know, you wipe it, you're good to go. The rooms, I could not get room service after 10 p.m. It's just a statewide thing in Ohio when I went. I even tried to go out because Google Maps said this place is open until 2 in the morning. I thought I'd go get something to go at the seafood place, show up at 11 o'clock, closed, right? So if you want any kind of nightlife, don't expect anything right now. If you're brave enough to journey out into the city you're staying in, make sure you know the rules, because a lot of places are not even going to allow you in to dine. You might have to get takeout, so keep that in mind, right? Check out, totally touch-free. Hotels right now are so clean. You've never seen a cleaner hotel. And these are the hotels that we stay at for these ballroom competitions, keep in mind. If you're trying to save a penny and you stay at the Motel 6 a mile away, you might expect to find less cleanliness. But so there you go. The hotel, immaculate. Spraying everywhere for germs, okay? Now here's the thing, when you enter the ballroom, it's also got its own set of rules. The ballroom is its own separate world. When you leave the hotel to enter the ballroom, they're a little bit more lenient. So if staying at a hotel hasn't turned you off from the idea of traveling to compete so far, this is where you need to pay attention, because in the ballroom, some of these things slide, okay? Now, perfect example is masks. Enter the ballroom from the hotel, you wear your mask. You wear your mask around the ballroom when you're not on the floor. When you're on the floor, you're not required to wear a mask. Out of all the competitors, I think there were, I'd say probably 8 people who wore a mask the whole time, never took it off. One woman had a face shield the whole time, never took it off. Majority of dancers did not have masks. And here's something when it comes to social distancing in the ballroom, right? Less competitors right now because a lot of people are sitting out. A lot of these dances are doing limited entries to keep the numbers down, okay? A lot of times they group your dances together. So you're on the dance floor, you do all your stuff, you're gone. There's no dancing at 8 a.m., come back at noon, then you got something at 6. No, you're in there and you do all your dances, you're done. But here's the thing with social distancing, even though there's less competitors and you can space out when you start, right? Every time we started, there's nobody like within 12 feet of us, okay? But perfect example of what might turn you off from this right now is you're going around the dance floor, we're doing a tango, and turn around and there's a couple, like right here, doing their thing. You know, we're just static position, they go by, we continue on, right? So you cannot avoid someone coming in your 6-foot circle, social distancing, when you're at a competition. Another example, all the judges, they have masks, but you're going down line to dance and you're within 3 feet of multiple judges, right? It happened a lot. So you cannot totally social distance, especially from people who don't have masks at an event right now. So those are 2 big things to consider if you're on a fence of what's safe. Now here's some things that they did, right? So in the ballroom, there's the dance floor. Tables spaced more than 6 feet apart. Everyone entered the ballroom, you sort of had your group, you sat with the same people the whole time, right? When you enter the dance floor, you're just coming right on the floor, okay? So there's no entry, there's no gate to go through. You're basically sit at the table, you know it's your time to dance, get on the floor. You're done with your dances, you get off. You might get off over here, you walk around, plenty of room between anybody though to get back to your table, okay? And same thing, people spraying inside the hotel room. Every table also had hand sanitizer. They had water coolers and they had coffee pots, the big jugs, right, of coffee. Disposable cups for both. I have a habit, when I get done off the floor, I just drink water, right? It's a mental thing, more than a thirst thing probably, but so I use that a few times. Same as always, water, coffee, but they also were giving out personal drinks. So if you're there and you're really uncomfortable about using one of these things, Oh, and they had Gatorade, and you could get a Gatorade, personal bottles, Gatorade, water. So a lot of these competitions are probably going to accommodate people in general. So you're probably going to be able to get a just for you drink. Okay, nobody's touched it except the person that brings it to you. Spray it off if you're not concerned about it. Knock it down. So here's the thing, and I'm going to be totally honest with you because I want you to make a proper decision based on facts that I personally witnessed, so you can make a decision, right? Dance floor, most people don't wear masks, all right? And I told you cannot social distance, especially from people who are not wearing masks. Ideally, like I said, everyone's at their tables. They're in their own groups. You wear your mask when you're not on the ballroom floor, but you can look around at times and see that people are, now keep in mind they're in their groups and those tables are spaced very far apart, but there were people who would not have a mask on while they're seated. So if that bothers you, this might not be your time. The thing is, I don't know if there's any kind of penalty. No one was really going around saying, hey, put your mask on. But I can tell you this, that when people are getting up and walking around, the majority of people followed the rules and wore a mask, okay? Now here's something else. I not only just danced one day, but I also was a spectator on another day. And as a spectator, I believe people were not getting temperature checked, and this could be maybe different at other places. And keep in mind, this is a little while ago, so cases were actually sort of just chilling, and it wasn't a very big deal. But people were reminded that they do not enter if they're feeling sick, have any symptoms, or have a temperature. Now you're supposed to check your temperature, of course, on your own. Are people being honest? You don't know. So as a spectator the one day, they did have a limited number of seats. I could have just been any Joe Schmo from who knows where to come and watch a dance competition, right? So there were some spectators. So keep that in mind, that you'll have some people that are coming in. It's soon to be like standing room only. They were sort of just along the walls, distance from everybody, but there were spectators that were not involved with anybody that was like dancing, or their family, or their coaches, or their support team. You know what I mean? So you're going to have people that could possibly come in to watch us dance. If any of that sounds bad, you probably don't want to go. If things sound great so far, good. Let me tell you a couple things to keep in mind, so if you do go, you know what to expect. Now, I noticed that a lot of women let their hair down. As a guy, I haven't shaved since that competition. I don't have much to do, right, to get ready. I get dressed. I'm ready to dance, okay? Now, the ladies, they did not have booths set up where you get your hair done. There was probably about half the vendors as usual, so you can buy things that you need. Beauty-wise, you're probably on your own. I believe that a couple women there that had their hair done had someone that came with them and stayed with them, and they had their hair done like in their hotel room with somebody that they know. I didn't see anything set up where you get up, you get your hair done, makeup, whatever, you get up, and the next woman comes along and same thing, hair done. There was none of that there. So be prepared that you might want to just take it easy and let your hair down too. They did hand out awards. Now you get a medal, and if you did very well, your envelope with a little something something in there for you because you're a good dancer. But they would give you awards. It was not the typical way where you're going up to get a comp ticket here. Oh, I got first place, back and forth. No. They had just for the finals, you get awards. I did not follow up with it, but I heard that if you did earn comps, that you were able to pick them up, or they could send them to you. And then after you received your award with your envelope for the finals, they would have the group photo. Now, of course, you don't do something you feel unsafe or uncomfortable with, so you didn't have to go up, but the couples were spaced apart as much as they could to fit in a very wide picture, but they did have the group photos at the end too. They had a practice floor, so you could go in and practice or warm up before you dance, or you just dance and need to go over something in your routine with your teacher. You could do that. It was usually not very busy. Actually, at one point, I spent an hour and a half on it all by myself. I had such a great practice out there too, by myself. But hey, just so you know, this is what you really got to watch out for. If everything sounds great so far, you got to watch out for situations like this. You're sitting there, you're maybe looking at your heat list. Someone from Wisconsin is running at you this way. Someone from Arizona is coming at you this way. And if you're very adamant about keeping people at a distance. You got to keep your head on a swivel and tell people, hey, it's nice to see you. I know we haven't seen each other for a long time, but I'd appreciate it if you respect my personal space. The perfect example is I watched two women. The one had just a shield, but she's standing there with her teacher, and her hands like this, clenched, and here comes someone running over, and she had to go like this and say, "I'm sorry, please, I need some space, okay?" And everyone just sort of goes, "Ah," okay, calm down. Just remember that you need to be assertive to keep people out before they get to you and cram in your space. And keep in mind not to be the person who runs over and tries to get physical with somebody who really does not want you in their space right now. It's great to see everybody, but remember, the point is we follow all these guidelines so that we're going to be able to stay safe and healthy and keep dancing. Hopefully, it'll all get back to normal here in 2021. So, to recap on everything we went over, hotels, I believe, are very safe. I feel safe on the ballroom with everything that I've just explained to you. If you have any comments and want to discuss anything, or if you think I left something out that I might be able to answer for you, please leave a comment below. Now, if you might have noticed this helmet here, this channel is I have more fighting footage than anything, but I am a ballroom competitor, and I like to have these vlogs here. I try to stay on at least once a month while everything's died down, there's no action, but if you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it because we will at times have some great ballroom content for you. So this is a Ballroom Diaries, as I do in my channel, where I keep track of everything I've done in my ballroom career. If you just stay tuned and want to see my stats, we're updating this. The first 6 months, I had no lessons at all. Things seemed a little more safe when I got back to the studio. I've had 18 private lessons since then. So wow, I'm up to 102 lessons. I've hit the triple digits. When it comes to lessons with a partner, we did have 3 lessons before the competition, actually, and that would make the total 24. And money spent, oh gosh, I surely have not spent as much as a lot of you watching have, I'm sure, but I'm now over the $7,000 mark because at this dance competition, I spent $280. So that wraps everything up. Like I said, subscribe if you like ballroom content because I try and provide informational topics for you and things that can help us out as a community. My hat's off to you if you made it this far in a video because I appreciate it. And I hope I helped you make an informed decision on dance sport today. Thank you.